I'm Dr. Bob Onder, Congressman for Missouri's 3rd District. As you may have noticed, Congress and the Trump administration just haven't stopped winning. When I last updated you from Washington, President Trump had just signed into law the Laken-Riley Act. I was very proud to be at the White House to witness this historic signing. We've been working fast to right the ship on President Biden's extreme open border failures. For example, as one of the first acts of his presidency, President Trump signed an executive order terminating so-called birthright citizenship. Before the ink on President Trump's pen could even dry, numerous Democrat-run states and non-government organizations began filing lawsuits challenging President Trump's executive order, citing the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause as their justification. In response to these Democrat lawsuits, I was proud to join my colleagues, including House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, in filing an amicus brief in 2 of these ongoing lawsuits. The question here is whether the child of 2 illegal aliens is automatically a citizen of the United States. Are so-called birth tourists who flood hospitals in our southern border states to give birth in the United States automatically entitled to have their child be considered a citizen? The United States is only one of 3 countries in the world that have such a silly policy. A policy never enacted by Congress and contrary to a sensible reading of our Constitution. None of our allies in the European Union, progressive strongholds like France and Spain and Germany and the UK, have such a liberal interpretation of birthright citizenship. Their restrictions are similar to and even more restrictive than those of President Trump's executive order. Why should the United States be any different? This is just another example of typical Democrat open borders policies. Just yesterday, the House Republicans passed the HALT Fentanyl Act by an overwhelming bipartisan margin. 108 Democrats reached across the aisle to vote with us on this common sense legislation that will save lives. Unfortunately, half didn't. Our colleagues across the aisle must do better. Once again, House Republicans have led the way to make America safe again. The HALT Fentanyl Act makes the temporary scheduling order for fentanyl-related substances as illegal drugs permanent. It ensures law enforcement will have the tools they need to keep these extremely lethal drugs off our street. In 2023, more than 107,000 Americans died of drug overdoses, roughly 75,000 of whom died from poisoning by synthetic opioids like fentanyl and related substances. Illicit fentanyl poisonings are now the #1 cause of death among adults aged 18 to 49, more than cancer, heart disease, and car accidents put together. Fentanyl is easier to produce than cocaine or heroin. It only takes a few hours to make, and fentanyl can be sold for 100 times or more what it costs to make. Fentanyl comes largely from Mexican drug cartels, made from Chinese chemical precursors, and it crosses the southern border to poison Americans. Take it from me, our country is sick, but not terminally ill. House Republicans are administering the medicine to the government, and our country is starting to recover. When criminals are off our streets, life-threatening drugs are stopped at the border, and we're able to stop illegal aliens from crossing our borders, that's a great thing. That's not extreme, it's a holistic approach to treating the illness. It's only a matter of time before our country fully recovers and we make America safe again. I'll see you next week with my pen and my prescription pad. I'm Dr. Bob, and that's my prescription.